how difficult is it in these economic times to get CEO or board of director approval to engage in sponsorships like this or to continue to sponsor partnerships like this in your market?
I would suggest that the answer to that is it's either really easy or it's really hard. And I'm not trying to be flip about it. It's a if you are not using actual market research to talk about this is what we know about our customers, our target audience, our service lines, how they view us, how they view the teams. If you aren't using actual consumer research to backstop your conclusions, you're just going to sound like a fan who wants free swag or tickets, right? And so you have to be able to articulate, here are the assets. This translates into, 2,500 employees and their loved ones and their team members, experiencing social team building time together every single year. This is 25 public opportunities where the team is going to vouch for us at large. And you have to be able to articulate, and this is why we care. And then I think you also have to look at it and say, and here are some of the other things we spend money on, and here's the impressions those drive. Again, we'll touch on when we get to the ROI, but for all the years I've been doing this, it wasn't until recently that I don't even remember where it came from. It wasn't my idea, but I loved it. It was someone on our team had a really smart idea about asking a question the right way that enabled us to get to more direct attribution. And I would say that's however you do it, you want to get as close to direct attribution as you can. Because most of these teams, they're designed, the sales team is designed to sell you the partnership, sponsorship, advertising, whatever it looks like for you. You have to know what to ask for, because there's also a pile of assets that, like just knowing that, a partnership with Coke, Coke gives charitable funds away every year. So you'd be foolish if you didn't ask them to make a commitment to your foundation, and they really won't even pause to say, well, yeah, sure. We're giving the money away anyway. We might as well give it to you. And so you gotta work with people who actually know what to ask who for, so you're not a pain and you're not asking for too much that makes you sound inappropriate, but you're not leaving anything on the table either. There's a lot of, I would say in most cases, there's a third to maybe half as many assets as come with any deal that are kind of free for the asking if you know what to ask for. And some of those are baked in this deck, you can look at them, but you should figure out how to look for those little validations that are going to help you throughout the year. And this is where your marketing, PR, communications team, community relations and sales and all those different functions that are likely under most of the people on this call. This is where your on the street knowledge of your team really comes to play. When you say, if you could have 5 things from this NFL team, what would it be? And you'll be surprised. Tickets won't be number one. It'll be, well, if I could get them to retweet this, that would be awesome. I mean, and so there's a lot of things like that you can get in. And when you start showing those kind of values versus a billboard versus a TV ad with the production cost, and you start putting all that stuff together and you show, and this is how many downstream visits it actually drives, this stuff adds up pretty fast to a pretty good value. And that's where the conversation becomes very easy, because you're able to articulate it. The second piece of it is, then don't get lazy. Go track it every year and ask people, did you see it? What did you think of it? I do focus groups, put a couple bucks into the back end that says, did it actually add value? If it didn't, you can now sit down with the teams, which are very data driven in most cases, and you can say, we laid out these 11 things that we were going to do each year as part of this partnership. These 5 are falling flat with the customer. Can we talk about trading those up? You'll be shocked. In most cases, they'll be like, sure. what else? What would you like to try instead? There's other options on the table. And the teams want you to be successful, but they don't. Your job is activation, right? Signing the deal is 5% and 95% is activating it. Their job, 95% is selling it, 5% is activating it. So if you give them an easy thing to say yes to, they'll say yes, but you got to ask. They're not going to like come to you every month with, oh, here's 15 new ideas we came up with for you. There's 45 other sponsors that they're working with, and they're selling to 44 of them. So once you're sold, you got to advocate for yourself with them, again, with the assumption that they want to do the right thing and they want to help you, and they will, if you ask them the right question, if you ask for something that's reasonable. And keep in mind, you're in healthcare. You're not in a space where Coke and T-Mobile and, you know, they're not asking for the same things you are. So nobody's asking for a player visit to, to the, meat and cheese factory, right? So they're